All right, guys. So we're on step 2 here. We're writing the vectors in vector component form, and we did px. All right, vector px first. We're going to move on to vector py. Okay, so vector py, and remember, like when you actually draw the vector, like vector px, when you draw it, it's going to end up looking like this. It's just that blue line. Okay, but again, to find that and write it in component form, you have to find the x and y component. So to vector, we're going to find vector py next. So to do that, it's that blue line right there. We have to count how many spaces we're going over and how many spaces we're going up. Okay, and if I count over, I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces over. So it's going to be written in the form 7. And then I'm going how many spaces up? I'm going 1, 2, 3 spaces up. Okay. Again, both in positive directions. And the last one would be PZ. Let's switch colors here. So P to Z, that vector right there, writing it in vector component form. So I count, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a positive x direction and 1 up. There we go. So what we're going to do is, like I said before, we're going to use those rules that we have for rotating around the origin. Okay, so we finished step 2. We wrote all our vectors in component form. Now we're on to step 3. Use the rotation rules about the origin to rotate the vectors. So this says we're rotating 90 degrees counterclockwise. Okay, 90 degrees counterclockwise. Very important. So if we flip back and you guys look at the first page of the notes, the rule that we had was x comma y, and it went to negative y x. We're going to use that for the vectors, okay? We are going to use that for the vectors that we just wrote in component form. So we're going to change this px to, let's write it in our vector brackets here. So it's going to be negative 5, 3. All right? Negative 5, 3, using this rule down here, okay? Then we're going to write the next one. So that's going to change it to negative 3, 7. All right, and lastly, for PZ, vector PZ is going to be negative 1, 5. Now, we just completed step 3. So from there, we have to go on to step 4. And what we're going to do is it says use the rotated vectors to plot x prime, y prime, and z prime. So I'm going to erase all our vectors that we just wrote down. And what we're going to do is we are going to plot our new vector. So p to x prime. So that's where this one up here is going to be p x prime. All right. This one is going to be p to y prime. And this one is going to be p to z prime. Okay, this last one. So p to x prime is going to be this one right here. So we are going to move negative 5. So we're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to go up 3. 1, 2, 3. That is going to be our coordinate for x prime. Okay, it's going to be the coordinate for x prime. Here, I'm going to write that on the other side. So that's going to be the coordinate for x prime right there. Now, if we move on to p to y prime, okay? So that was this one. Here, let's switch colors. That was this one right here. All right, getting a little messy, but follow along. Guys, if you have any questions over this, please ask an email or a Zoom session or anything. Message me on Remind, okay? So for this one, negative 3, 7. So we're going to move 1, 2, 3, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is going to be our coordinate for y prime. And lastly, we're going to have z prime